Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Here with your daily free picks. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Last pick I gave out was on Friday, guys, and we picked up a winner in the WNBA. In free picks, we have now won 10 of our last 11 plays. 10 of our last 11 plays. Hopefully keep it going today. Today, guys, is going to be a very quick video. I have an NBA play for you guys, so no W in it, but I have an NBA play for you guys. And if you guys have been following along, you know our NBA has been absolutely cooking. So, yeah, hopefully keep that going today. I want to just really quickly talk about why I do believe this is the sharp side as well. First and foremost, guys, here's the play, okay? We've got a half unit play on Miami, Boston, under 206.5, minus 103. However, that line has gone to minus 111 now since I gave it out. So the line has moved. I'm totally okay with that, guys, and I do believe that absolutely this is the sharp side here. Now, first and foremost, I capped this game as 3 points lower on the total. Okay, now you might think, well, look, Bender, we're talking about super high NBA total games. What's 3 points? Well, 3 points is a significant value still. Okay, this game total should be 203.5, not 206.5. That is a significant edge. Okay, above and beyond that, guys, we have 3 steam bets that came in on the under. Get a little bit of confirmation of, this team's going to tell us that's a sharp side, right? But let's get some confirmation here that it really is a sharp side. Money distribution can help us do that. Okay, 34% of bets. Right now, 52% of money on the under, okay? So you got 34% of bets, 52% of the money. Now, I'd love to see that by game time go contrarian. We might actually see that because of the fact that I'm sure there's going to be some public money coming in on the over. Probably over the next few hours, we're going to start to see the public become more active in betting. And then, depending what happens, you might see some late sharp money come in again on the under. But, fingers crossed this turns into a contrarian play because we like being contrarian, which means we're betting with Vegas. If we win, Vegas wins and vice versa. In order to do that, we'd have to drop below 50%, sitting at 52% right now. But still, even at 52%, okay, it's still a beautiful money distribution, okay? 1/3 of people, roughly, okay? 34%. So basically 1 out of every 3 people walking up to the window are betting the under. The other 2 are betting the over. But the 52% of money on the under tells us very clearly that these 1 in 3 people are betting bigger amounts, okay, larger amounts. These people are the guys betting, they're not betting, 200, 300, 500 a game, okay? These are people betting thousands of dollars on the game, and that is what is causing that discrepancy, okay? So my full expectation is that, this will end up being a contrarian play unless you see some massive late money come in on the under, because I really do think that, we're going to start to see the public money, the $50, $100, $200, $500 bets start to come in on the over, and that's going to just slightly change that a little bit. We're still going to be looking at, a very nice money distribution. And it's clear as day right now when you look at this team, look at where I capped the game. Multiple systems on this, by the way, with nice ROIs. There's a lot of reasons why, you have to like the under, but again, okay, Bender, why are we not firing 3 units on this? Everything lines up, except for the fact, here's one thing, okay? Just a little bit of apprehension. These low total games so far in the NBA playoffs have not fared very well, all right? So I know there's value on this game. I know it's the sharp side, but I still think the prudent decision is we make this a half unit play. Yeah. So, potentially maybe being a little overcautious with a play, but, we do have to pay attention to trends, okay? I think that betting trends, dangerous game, okay? If you're betting short-term trends, very, very dangerous game. But it's something that you do have to kind of take into account, okay? So we got a lot of nice things lining up on here. Anyways, if you're interested in my full card, guys, we got some hockey. We got a lot of baseball, a ton of baseball, okay? BenderWins.com, guys, it's $99 a month. And someone asked me a good question yesterday, say how many games are you betting a day in Masterclass? And look, if you have a set rule, if you come out and say, okay, every day we're going to bet 5 or 6 plays, or every day we're betting 8 plays, right? That's your code. that's terrible, okay? You can't have any set rules. What you have to do is you have to allow the value to dictate that. So it's a very tough question for me to answer. Today, we happen to have a lot of plays because there's a lot of value out there, okay? Don't ever have set rules, okay? If you're just getting started in sports betting, I've talked about this before, limiting your number of bets in the beginning, okay? Limiting your number of bets in the beginning. But, as you become more advanced, you don't want to cap yourself. You never want to say, okay, look, I'm going to give out my best 6 plays, because what if there's only 4 plays that have value that day, right? What do you do then? Just scramble around to try to find 2 extra? What if there's even probably worse? What if there's literally 14 plays or 15 plays that have positive value? You're just going to say, no, forget about it, right? No, it's crazy to cap yourself. Today just happens to be a busy day. And I just want to, one last thing to touch on, guys, that, I do want to emphasize that, I built up, my abilities to find value and the number of games over the years. Okay. And it takes a while before you can, identify value with a significant amount of confidence. And if you are just beginning, keeping a little bit of a lower total volume can be beneficial. And I'll talk about really quickly here, guys, if you're interested in this strategy. And I've had people literally write me long ass emails. I've given this out a few times here in free picks, this strategy for newer bettors, guys. And I've had people say, Bender, I honestly, man, this sounded crazy, but like it legit worked. This is, if you're starting, guys, this is the way that I would recommend doing it. And you're probably gonna like not want to do it this way. But if you do it, I'm telling you, as long as you're capping games right, you're probably going to win some good money here. I've had people message me saying like, this is brilliant and it's working for them. Okay. Take your top 5 or 6 plays. Okay. Handicap them. All right. And you are going to be limiting yourself a little bit. If there's not 5 or 6 plays that have value, then just take your top 4, whatever the case may be, right? Take your top 5 or 6. Here's what you're going to do. Okay. You're going to write them down in the order that you think is, from your lock of the day all the way down to, your fringe play, the last play that you kind of think has value. But, rate them between 1 to 6, okay? Now take your pen and cross out number 6, okay? That's the game with the thinnest amount of value. That leaves you with 5 plays left, right? Okay. Now, what are you going to cross out? Number 5? No. Cross out number 1. Yeah, I know you think that's crazy, right? The amount of times that newer bettors fall for trap lines, these games that are just too good to be true, we can't lose, the amount of times that happens is mind-boggling, okay? And until you become accomplished enough to know how to navigate that minefield, take your pen and cross out your top play, that can't lose play. And that's what people don't want to do. They say, shit, Bender, like, really? I'm going to cross out the top play. I'm sure it's going to win. And then when that game does win, you're going to hate me. You're going to be like, Bender told me to cross it out. What the hell is going on? Track those plays, okay? I'm telling you, probably a strong likelihood early on, okay, that you're probably going to lose on those plays early on, believe it or not, okay? Now, track those plays 60, 90 days, 120 days, depending on, how conservative you want to be. If you have a winning ROI, if you have a positive ROI from your number 1 plays, add them back in. All right. Same thing goes with your number 6 plays. Okay. You have a positive ROI over 60, 90, 120 days, add them back in. Okay. This is how you slowly over time can increase your volume size. Now, maybe you might look at it and say, hey, you know what? My number 1 play has a negative ROI after, 90 days. That's going to teach you, okay? It's going to teach you how to spot these trap lines. You can start to become more intelligent about finding trap lines, avoiding them, possibly even getting on the other side of them, right? But, confident, and I've done this with a lot of people. A lot of people messaged me and said like how amazing this has been for them. Those number 2, 3, 4, and 5 picks, if you're finding value, it should be solid, okay? If you are looking for, even less volume, then cross out number 5, okay? Cross out 1, 5, and 6. But again, this is a great way to get started, okay? Crossing out number 6 is your thinnest amount of value. The only thing here, guys, you got to be honest with yourself, okay? You cannot, because you want to bet that game, you make it number two. That's not how this works, okay? Legitimately rank this stuff. And if you're honest with yourself, I'm telling you guys, this is a strategy that worked for, people who are new at sports betting. And track the hell out of everything, okay? Track everything. Get yourself a notebook, right? Build yourself a software, just use an Excel, do whatever you have to do and track everything, okay? Track your win and ROI rate by sport. Track it by, by ranking, okay? How well has your number one performed? How well has your number three performed, right? Maybe what you're finding, okay? Maybe what you're finding is your number three is outperforming your number two. Does that mean that potentially in number two spot, you're still finding a couple, secondary trap lines that are kicking around out there? Is there an adjustment you have to make? Track your number six plays. Eventually you want to add that play back in, right? You want to make sure you're finding that value. Maybe what you're finding is, hey, you know what? Like play number 2 and 3 are very profitable for me. 4 is kind of break even, but 5's not profitable. Well, guess what? Make the adjustment. Shrink that. Get rid of 5 and 6 now, okay? Eventually you can add them back in when you can start defining where value actually is, and you can start defining these trap lines. Okay, guys, try this out, all right? I promise you guys that you'll be messaging me back and saying, Bender, this changed the game for me. And you know what? If you're hitting and you're winning on your number one play, after whatever, 60, 90 days, 120 days, you might message me back and say, Bender, you jerk, you cost me a lot of money because I was winning that. But you know what? I gave you confirmation, okay? I gave you confirmation that what you're doing is correct. You're finding that value and you go ahead. Now you can fire away, but still track it, okay? Because again, longer term eliminates variance, all right? Early on, maybe you get a hot run, okay? Maybe, a couple trap lines don't come in or something like that. So it's something to take into account, guys. But if you try this out, I'm telling you, you're going to find holes in your betting, okay? You're going to be able to fill those holes. You're going to be able to spot trap lines better, and you're going to be able to really see where you stand. There you go. All right, guys, that's it for us today, guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And as always, guys, have a very lucky day, and bye for now.